Hi there, it's Clive here again with another meal replacement review, and today we've gone back to the original, as far as I'm concerned anyway, the product that I originally reviewed, but now in ready to drink format. Yes, at last. I know this has been available for a few months now, and I know lots of people have been asking me to do a review of this, and I'll give you the reasons why I haven't got round to it a little bit later. Hint price. But I thought I would finally do a review of the Huel Ready to Drink. So for those that don't know, it's a nutritionally complete meal in a bottle. So it's high in protein, low in sugar and salt. It's a source of fibre, contains a balanced macro split, 35, 42, 20 and 3. So that's carbohydrates, fats, proteins and fibres, and it has all 26 essential vitamins and minerals that your body needs. So far so good. Additionally, there's no lactose, no animal products, no soy, and it's not GMO. So there you go. One bottle here is 500 mils, and you get 400 calories in here and 20 grams of protein for those that are interested. I've always liked Huel as a drink, but not necessarily the flavour, and I'll come to that in a minute. I've always sort of favoured Huel because I've always thought the price has been pretty good, but also I've always been an admirer of the science that goes into the sort of nutritional values and where they source all the sort of minerals and vitamins and the fibres and the fats and the proteins, etc., where they get those from sort of natural sources, etc. And also they don't put in the cheap products like maltodextrin, which you'll find in probably 80%, 90% of ready-to-made meals, which is fine, but it's a sort of a cheaper option, and there are better options, especially for delivering the sugars and carbohydrates that your body needs. And whilst there is a small amount of maltodextrin in Huel, very minuscule as I understand it, it's not one of the main base ingredients, and that's why I've always sort of favoured Huel, because they do a lot of work into making sure that what they're putting in here is really good. My problem is, and those that would have seen my reviews of Huel, is that they upgraded the powder form to a different flavour, a new flavour version 3.0, and to be honest, I hated it. I mean, when you make up the drink, you're making about 500 mils of it. So it's a big drink. So you better like it if you're going to be trying to drink that every day on a regular basis. And I just didn't like the taste. I love everything else about Huel, but I just didn't like the taste. And I've tried so many other meal replacement products. And so I know that there are really good tasting meal replacement products out there, but some of them often are too expensive, but they have great ingredients, or they taste amazing, but the ingredients aren't so good. So it's always been a mix to sort of find that perfect triangle of price, taste and ingredients. So I'm hopeful about Huel here. This is the vanilla flavour. They do a berry flavour and a chocolate flavour. I'll do a review of the chocolate flavour later, but I'll be doing this vanilla flavour. Now it says here version 1.0, so I'm presumably this is version 1.0 of the ready to drink flavour and not version 3 of the flavour that they use in the powder, if that makes sense. So I'm interested to see what this tastes like. As you know, the great thing of ready to drink is the convenience. It's grab and go, put it in your bottle. You don't have to sort of take out a shaker and mix it up at work and people go, oh, what's that you're doing there? You're doing bodybuilding or something. It's not a bodybuilding drink, it's just a meal replacement. So throw this in your bag, it's a lot easier, but obviously it's a slightly more expensive option than making up the powder. And one of the reasons I haven't done a review of this earlier is if you order this off the website, you basically have to order 12 bottles, which works out about 60 quid. So that would be 60 quid for me to try this. Well, the good news is, if you're in the UK, if you're in the US, you can probably look around as well, but if you're in the UK, this is now available in Sainsbury's. So that's one of the biggest superstores there are in the UK. Now available in Sainsbury's, and it costs £3.50 in a single form. So I thought, for that, I'll go down there, buy a few bottles, give it a go, and if I like it, then I'll fork out maybe for the 12 bottle deal that they do on their site, because if you get the 12 bottles, it works out about £2. I'm just looking at the site there. It works out about £2.51 a bottle. But anyway, without further ado, as I say, let's just read on here. What is Huel? Nutritionally complete food. It means you get all this in one bottle. Vitamins and minerals, 26 essentials. High protein, 20 grams. Slow release carbs for energy. As I say, they don't usually rely on maltodextrin. I'm just checking now, I've said that here. Nope, that's good. Essential fats from omega-3 and 6, which is good. Not all meal replacement products put in those omega fats, so it's good to see that's in here. Fibre from soluble, which are both soluble and insoluble, and the phytonutrients, the stuff, basically the brilliant stuff you get from plants. That's it. And it's low in sugar and gluten-free and soya-free. So there you go. Let's give it a shake anyway. This is the vitamin flavour, as I say. I wasn't a great fan of the version 3 powder they did. So, as I say, this is going to be very interesting. Yeah, it's got that old Huel vitamin smell. It's funny how, it's interesting how different drinks, different versions that I make it, whether it's the powder and the different products and different companies, they all have a slightly different vitamin smell to it. Not vitamin, what am I saying? Vanilla. Yeah, there's the classic vanilla smell. It's quite interesting that of all the different products I try, the vanilla smell is always slightly different between the products. And it may be to do with the sweetener in there, which was partly my problem with the version 3 flavour of the powder. I think the sweetener I just found a bit overpowering. Anyway, smells like vanilla. Certainly smells like the old Huel. It's quite thick. Yeah, I can taste that sweetener taste. What sweetener do they use in here? Sucralose. It's that sucralose flavouring, the sucralose sweetener that I don't really like that they put in here. But it's really smooth. It's a sort of a gloopy smooth, but it's really smooth, especially if it's chilled like this. I found the powder sometimes can be a bit more gloopy without being smooth, but this is really smooth. And whilst definitely the sweetener flavouring is quite, it comes through, it doesn't come through quite as much. I'm not getting the same impact that I have when I try the powder form, and it may be because I've sort of chilled this down, and maybe that's the best way to drink it. So it's not too bad actually. Strange lump there. Yeah, I've had better meal replacement, ready to drink meal replacement products in terms of the flavour. The texture is really good. I like this, but again, I just find the artificial sweetener a tad too sort of artificially tasty. I think they put too much in, personally. I think they could do with just taking the edge off that sweetener or finding a different sweetener personally. But it's better than the powder form in terms of drinking, so it really comes down to choice. The more I sit here, the more I'm getting that sweetener aftertaste. That's the problem with sucralose. I sometimes have sucralose in my tea and coffee sometimes, and I can't, I've stopped doing it. I usually use xylitol because that tastes like sugar, it looks like sugar, and it's much better for your teeth than sugar. But sucralose of all the sweeteners is the one that has the most aftertaste, and that's what I'm getting here. So whilst I think this is quite handy, quite useful, I love the ingredients in here in terms of the nutritional value and the nutrients and all of those elements. Again, it's let down, I think, slightly by the sweetener. But in terms of smoothness and texture, I'm loving it. It's nice and thick, and that's really great. But really handy, really useful. I said I don't think I would necessarily going to fork out £60 for 12 bottles. It depends how long it keeps, and we can check that out. Best before. Okay, this is best before December this year, so not that long. Suitable for vegans as well. But there you go. I'm not going to try the chocolate one for now. We'll do that later. But you know, I know a lot of people have been asking me to do the ready to drink Huel, so I've done it. My verdict is, I love the ingredients. I think if you are not too bothered about the taste and you want the most cost-effective and yet healthy ingredients, then definitely go for Huel. But you have to bear in mind, if you're having this on a regular basis, you've got to deal with that, the sweetener, excuse me, that sweetener taste really. It might be a bit more different if you mix it up with the chocolate or whatever, and I don't know what their banana powder is like as well, which is a new one. But that's my verdict. Let me know what you think. As I say, check out the site for more details. As I say, as a quick taster test there, I'd love to know your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. I hope to have some more meal replacement product reviews coming up soon, but I'm basically running out of them. And I'm always exploring new ideas. There's a great meal replacement noodle in Japan, which I'm desperately trying to get my hands on, which is basically like a glorified pot noodle, but a meal replacement version of a pot noodle, if that makes sense, which to me feels like heaven, especially if you've seen my Japanese cooking episodes on YouTube. Check those out as well. Anyway, that's enough whiffle waffle from me. Again, thank you for watching. Hit that like button. Please hit the notification button so you know when I'm uploading videos. That'd be really great. I'd love to hear any comments, etc., etc. And for now, it's cheerio. Thanks for watching.